Oh, we ready? Hey, this is the Coon Prairie Ramblers here, a rambling ride along. We're talking about all kinds of things here.
Here we are. What are we going to talk about today?
Oh,
you know what I thought would be good to talk about?
yeah.
Knives.
Knives.
Well,
Traditions.
That's a sharp subject.
And for a bunch of dull people.
Yeah.
There you go.
But anyhow.
Yeah. The only knife I know is the butter knife.
What I want to talk to you about was the fact that...
He's toting a knife.
Yeah, I got a knife.
Ladies and gentlemen, even as we speak.
You scared me a little while ago when you whipped that thing out.
I thought if I was going to wear a scary mask today, I probably should have a knife to go with it in case it was like one of those killer clown things where somebody attacks me.
Yeah, that's right. Pull that knife out. Let me see it. We'll get a picture we can put on the Facebook here. 1, 2, and 3 on YouTube.
You know, if everybody wore one of those, everybody at the Brew Crew wore one, wouldn't that be something?
Yes, it would.
And then they say, "Okay, everybody, whip it out."
Excuse me while I
whoop this out. It's easy, accessible there. Just
imagine,
imagine
the mayor.
You know, when I was a kid,
I
was riding on this back road one day.
Back road?
I don't remember if it was a horseback or in a car with Dad or in a truck or what, but this guy that used to be a county commissioner stopped talking to us.
He stopped in a car?
Yep. And he said, I want to give you something. And he gave me a 3-bladed Stockman Queen steel pocket knife, which was a very good knife.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. Some people just think every kid should have a knife. But he made me give him a quarter.
A quarter.
For the knife. There's a tradition. Some people, I don't know if it's a superstition, tradition, or what it is, that they won't give you a knife. That you must give them something for that knife. And there's even people that when they give you like a knife as a gift in say a box, that they'll wrap it up and they'll put a penny in it or something so you can give them the penny back so that they're selling you. Or
there's some kind of exchange.
So that the knife is not just given.
This is all new territory for me. I've never heard
I'm
of that.
sure of that. You're a Buckeye. We're talking Southern tradition.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
pecan. I'm a Buckeye. You guys are pecans.
There you go.
That will ruin the friendship or sever the friendship between those two people. That's what I've heard. I don't put any stock into that.
But it's a nice tradition.
It is. But I've traded a lot with knives, and I had a friend that passed away, and he and I used to lie to each other and swap stories, and we used to always pretend like one of us could sharpen a knife better than the other. We never did. Whenever he would give me a knife, we never exchanged money for them. But I gave him knives, and one day he gave me a knife, and I'm talking about 5-6 years ago. And he said, "Do you recognize that knife?" I said, "No." He said, "You had that when you were in high school."
Really?
And I left it at his house.
My goodness.
And he had it all this time. And he gave it back to me.
Wow.
I said, "Well, it's probably a good thing that you did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had it." So I gave it to my son, so it kind of passed down.
That's a nice heritage.
Old, you know those knives with look like they have leather rings for a stacked leather handle. That's what it's called. And
had some K-bar knives that had that wrapped around the handle.
This one
it was a sheath knife.
Yeah,
that's what I had.
This one wasn't K-bar though. It was either a Western or there's another Swedish name or German name of some sort of knife. But anyhow, so I gave it to Dalton, and he has it now. But there's other still things going on knives, and one of them, you know this one, I know you do.
Oh, yeah?
The tradition of I hand you a knife to look at.
That's right.
What do you do when you hand it back to me?
I give it back to you the same way you gave it to me, whether it's open or closed.
Exactly.
My dad was superstitious. He would not take the knife back. Be a good way to get some knives from him, but I didn't take advantage of that. But he was very superstitious about that.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, "Hey, I didn't give you that knife that way."
Yep.
And they want it back. However they gave it to you, they want it back.
My daddy was a
exact same
big
way.
knife guy. He not I don't mean big knife like he carried big knives, but he was big into knives, and he always had one with him. And he always said, he gave me a dress knife one time, which is a little fancy knife, whatever. He said every man should have a dress knife to take to church on Sunday.
Yeah, we call them Sunday go to meeting now.
Yep. He gave me several knives over the years, and they meant a lot to him. He could sharpen them. I've never been really good at sharpening knives, but he could sharpen them.
I've never been good at sharpening knives, but I have sharpened them, but I never knew if I did it right.
Well, was it sharp?
Well, it was sharp.
Well, then you did it right.
Okay.
So there's sharp, and then there's what they call scary sharp.
That's right.
I mean, there's sharp.
And then after scary sharp, you got over sharp, and it's back to being dull, right? No?
You ever seen somebody, they've had a knife so long and they have like 2 or 3 blades in the pocket?
Yeah,
they open it up, there's a little teeny skinny one about the size of a toothpick. Well, you know it used to be wider, but that was their favorite blade. They sharpened it so much till it was almost gone.
Wow.
You know that's a sharp knife.
And years ago, when I was a kid, we always had a whetstone.
Yeah.
And it's a little, about 4 inches maybe, not very wide, but that's what we sharpened our knives on. I mean, that was what we used. We didn't have any fancy sharpeners, so you learned a lot.
Electric sharpeners.
You learned a lot by knowing, what angle to sharpen. And the biggest thing is to get that same angle over and over again.
Yeah, you got to be consistent from side to side.
If you're going to put a 20-degree angle on this side, you need to put a 20-degree angle on this side and that side. And years ago, when I learned how to sharpen a knife, they always taught me to, whatever I do on one side, you do on the other. If you put 50 strokes on this side of the blade, you have to put 50 on the other side. They used to say, or you'll roll the edge. And what they meant by roll the edge, I never knew until recently I figured it out. If you sharpen a knife enough, all of a sudden at the very edge where the edges meet, I mean, you actually have 2 edges. You have an edge on both sides. Where they meet will be so thin, it's like a little piece of wire.
That's what I was saying. You could sharpen it beyond sharp, and it becomes dull.
No. You got to go another step.
Yeah.
There's like a little piece of metal that will literally flap. You can take your finger and feel it. Mm-hmm. If you kind of like run your fingernail, and you can like pluck at it and feel that. And you can take it then on a leather strop, and that's what that strop does, is remove that little wire edge off that knife. And when you get that's when it's sharp. It's scary sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
But we used to, a lot of times, like I said, we carried that little wet rock around our pocket, and we didn't have a leather strop with us. Some of them would actually have a little, but sometimes you'd finish them off on the side of your jeans. I don't have jeans on, but they had that seam on the side of your jeans, and you'd cross your legs and use that seam to to hone the knife, and it will take that little wire edge off of there.
That's right. We always had knives. We carried knives to school, and nobody thought nothing about it.
Every single day we had a knife.
That knife you got around your neck, that big,
it's not very big,
monster of a thing.
You saw it coming at you.
Can you get them bigger? What's the biggest you can get, or you just carry it around your neck?
I guess the biggest you could stand it.
Yeah,
that depends on how macho you
like
are.
Zorro.
So your neck started hurting from all the weight.
That's probably not
2 pound knife hanging around your head.
That's probably only about a 2-inch blade,
something like that. 2.5. Goodness. Well, we're going to have to sheath our knives and get on out of here. We've used another segment up, so we're going to come back in a few for another one.
Oh, geez.
Hopefully this segment on knives hasn't been too dull for you.
Bringing in the sheath.
We'll be back. Oh, we still got a few more seconds.
Well, we missed that one.
Oh, well, story of my life. But I do have a knife the rest of my life.
I got a knife, but I don't carry it.
A lot of good it does.
I need to start carrying like KC.
Well, listen to the song. Go to YouTube and listen to Guy Clark's song, The Randall Knife. That's the ultimate knife song. I'll leave you with that.
Good song.
Well worth hearing, the Randall Knife.